Welcome, I'm Sean MacDermott, Chief Instrument Flight Instructor at Vincennes University. In this video, you'll learn how to transition from instrument conditions to make a safe landing by using an instrument approach. The first step is to determine which approach will be appropriate for you. To do this, you should dial in the frequency for the airport's automated terminal information system. ATIS provides information on which runway is active and which approaches are in use. ATIS also provides the current weather conditions, the cloud ceilings, visibility, and other pertinent information that you need in order to determine if you can land using the instrument approach that you're planning. Once you have determined which instrument approach to use, including if you have a specific request for an instrument approach, then you should notify air traffic control of that request and make them aware that you have the current ATIS information at the airport. Airports that do not have a tower will not have an ATIS. Instead, you will contact the local weather station and then inform ATC of your approach request. Ideally, no less than 20 minutes before beginning the instrument approach, you need to brief the procedure. You should slow your aircraft to an appropriate speed, usually about 10 to 20% lower than your normal cruising speed, as you prepare to slow for the final approach. Complete the descent checklists and brief the instrument procedure. The briefing should be thorough and include all applicable notes for the instrument approach, including minimum altitudes, courses, headings, frequencies, and the missed approach procedure in case you can't make it to your destination. From there, determine, based off of your clearance, whether you'll be radar vectored to the approach or if you'll be expected to complete a full approach procedure, meaning that you're doing all of the navigating on your own versus ATC telling you directions to fly to get to the final approach course. Once you've made the determination between which of those two you are expected to perform, double-check your briefing and make sure that your avionics are configured for the procedure you're expecting. No later than when you have intercepted the final approach course, make sure you have completed the before landing checklist and have the airplane properly configured. I use the acronym ABC, ACC to remember this procedure. Airspeed, make sure the airplane is at an appropriate speed. Brief the procedure and complete all checklists. Once you're on the final approach course, it's airspeed again, slow to the final approach speed. Complete any remaining checklists and configure the aircraft before the final descent. In a precision approach, you want to intercept the glide slope at an airspeed appropriate for your aircraft. For a Cirrus SR20, that's 100 knots. Ensure the flaps are set to 50% no later than when you intercept the glide slope. From there, you need to manage your rate of descent and your airspeed with a combination of pitch and power to maintain the glide slope down to the decision altitude. For small deviations from your glide path, make very small pitch adjustments to your attitude indicator. For larger or repeated deviations from the glide slope, adjust power. As you close on the runway, your course will become more narrow. Make use of the track indicator and make only very small heading corrections for deviations from the center of your course, usually no more than 5 degrees from the heading that tracks your course. Upon reaching the decision altitude, you should ensure that you have the runway environment in sight, the required visibility, and can continue the landing using a normal speed and rate of descent. For a non-precision approach, you will not have vertical guidance. At the final approach fix, begin a stabilized descent to the minimum descent altitude. Do not descend below the MDA unless you have the runway environment in sight, the required visibility, and can continue the landing using a normal speed and rate of descent. If any of these requirements aren't met by your decision altitude for a precision approach, or by the missed approach point for a non-precision approach, you should promptly execute the missed approach procedure you were assigned. In the Cirrus SR20, immediate actions are to add full power and initiate a climb. Click the toga button, and once a climb is established, retract the flaps. If applicable, reconfigure the autopilot to continue the missed approach procedure. From there, notify ATC as soon as practicable that you are executing the missed approach procedure. The acronym I use for this is 5 C's. Click the toga button, cram the power to full, clean up the flaps, configure the autopilot, and then call ATC and notify them that you have executed the missed approach procedure. At some point after the missed approach, you'll be expected to enter a holding pattern. Be sure to include in the initial briefing how you plan to enter that holding pattern. In conclusion, following these steps will help you prepare for and complete a safe landing using an instrument approach. Look for our other videos for additional safe takeoff, flight, and landing procedures.